Ladies and gentlemen, live from the Circle of Debate, it's Saturday night. And on this brand spanking new episode of TRWT, we will be talking the week that was for AEW, WWE, TNA. We will be handing out, for the first time ever, the Middies, the mid-season awards for professional wrestling. And we will be playing games, having some fun, and just hopefully enjoying wrestling with you, the fans. So everybody out there, get comfy, grab some popcorn, raise those glasses, and park those asses, because the next episode of Top Rope Wrestling Talk starts right about now.
Yeah. That's how I feel when only person who can stop you is the man in the mirror. When you look down at your wrist and you see money. When you look at your shoes and you see money. When that scarf on your neck means money.
This is Zip Squad.
Burberry scars, shrimp and Perry on. Living like a comet, moving amongst the stars. $100,000 sports cars, silk massage, menage a trois. Yes, I've been a boss. Burberry scars, shrimp and Perry on. Living like a comet, moving amongst the stars. $100,000 sports cars, silk massage, menage a trois.
Better not bring your kids.
Oh, it feels so good to be back. Whether you're here in the live chat with us every week or you've joined us for the first time, welcome to Top Rope Wrestling Talk, the show that takes you through the week that was, predicts things to come, has a lot of laughs at a lot of professional wrestlers' expense, let's be real. But overall, we just enjoy wrestling. And every week I get to enjoy wrestling with this woman. I hope you do too. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome the first lady of Top Rope Wrestling Talk. She is the whole ass vibe, the ninth wonder of the podcasting world, because we don't treat her like a woman, but we try damn hard not to treat her like a man. She is the incomparable, the incredible Latina heat herself, Grandma Wendy!
Viva la raza! If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
We lie, we cheat, we steal. We lie, we cheat, we steal. Mamacita.
Hey, what's good, y'all?
I really got to stop playing such awesome music. I never want to stop dancing.
Right?
But speaking of awesome music, our special guest host this week, because we love him to death, and he is an honorary member of Top Rope's Furious Five, along with the Temptress Witch, Ivy, of course. And because Bruce had got pulled away for some family business, some fatherly stuff, he apologizes, but he will be back next time. Our special guest is not only an amazing musician, he's also the host of the Wrestling Delorean, which you can find on Sirius XM. He is the creator and now co-host of Dogging with De Niro and Dom and Friends with Benefits.
Yeah, don't forget the benefits.
He is the man that takes you through time, and since he let me steal the keys again, I'm going to hit this.
Hey, Doc, we better back up. We don't have enough road to get up to 88. Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome my brother from another mother, Mike De Niro.
Hey.
I'm so happy to be back on Top Rope. It is a long time coming. I'm so glad I'm part of the, what was it, Furious Five, you said?
Yep.
The Furious Five, definitely excited. You were on the episode 350 of Wrestling Delorean podcast this past Thursday, where we gave out grades, report card grades for Raw and AEW, but we did not give out middies, so I had to show up and give out some awards.
See, that that was the thing when you told me like, oh, we're gonna be doing like some mid-year stuff. I had already been planning that. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And you're like, oh, we're doing report cards. I was like, that's different. That's different. Okay.
I'll tell you this: we're always on the same wavelength because we are the impact players of podcasting.
Yep. And we are damn sure extreme. And that leads it to me, folks. I am Mr. Monday Night, a whole fucking live stream. I am the notorious
Yeah.
Word, the man of 1,000 names, Mr. Malenko.
Right? My scroll is longer than Jericho's, and I give myself 90% of these nicknames. In fact, one of the men that gave me the nickname Notorious is in the chat right now.
Justin.
What is going on, Justin? You are just in time as always. You are just our network champion, thanks to beating me, but I'm coming for you. I'm coming. So we had a wild week. And I know Circle Debate covered a lot of it yesterday. I know a lot of people were there for that. I want to go over a couple of things. One of them being, for starters, I'm loving that TNA's next pay-per-view has a tag team title match where Eddie Edwards and I can't remember his name, the artist formerly known as Kurt Hawkins. It totally Brian Myers will be defending the TNA World Tag Team Championships against Nick Nemeth and his brother Ryan. I am personally fucking loving this. I was hoping that after, everything that Ryan Nemeth had to put up with in AEW, he would either get somewhere there or get out and maybe tag up with his brother. And now the shit is coming to fruition. I guess my question to the panel is, are you excited for this, or is this just me being stupid for no apparent reason? And I'm going to go to Grandma first.
Honestly, no. I didn't even, this is the first I hear of it, and I'm just like, please give us this now. Like, nums. I must have it. I'm pretty excited about it. Sounds like it's going to be fucking amazing.
Right. Okay. Because obviously, I have loved Ryan since he clapped back on CM Punk and just owned him when before Phil got fired. I thought that was the most beautiful thing. I remember putting his quote up on the screen and just laughing. Not that I didn't love Ryan Nemeth before that. I think he's very talented, but it's just cool to see him actually in a big match and with his brother. De Niro, do you feel the same way, or you just, hey, who gives a shit?
No, I'm definitely excited. I'm more interested to see the dynamic between the two brothers because it was announced on this episode of TNA this past Thursday, the 20th anniversary of Impact. They said that they have never wrestled in a tag team match with each other. They never teamed with each other. This is the first time, even though they're brothers, this is the first time they're in the real promotion with each other. And it's the first time that they're teaming with each other. So I wonder what the dynamic's going to be. Usually brother teams have a different dynamic than just two wrestlers who are thrown together or just put together. So yeah, I wonder if they have any double team moves set up or things planned, but it's going to be interesting to see them in the ring together as a team for the first time.
Okay. The other question that comes from this, because I know we've had this a few times now in AEW, is this team worthy of getting a set of titles in their first match together? Kind of like, is this a tag team version of Mercedes, basically?
I would say no. I like what they're doing with the system right now. I think that this would be a good matchup for Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers, but I want to see them continue to have their reign. And I think that there's bigger plans for Nick Nemeth come Slammiversary. I think that he's going to be the one to take the title off of Moose, but I don't see them winning the tag titles.
Wow. I got to pause because our scumbag showed up and said De Niro looks like Spike Dudley in those glasses.
Whoa, I'm going for more of a Joey Styles, but
I was going to say he looks more Joey Styles than Spike Dudley. That's a little much. I hate to do this so early, Temple, but I feel like that comment deserves it.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
That happened.
You're welcome.
It did happen. I believe in Joe Hendry too.
We
believe in Joe Hendry.
Believe in Joe Hendry, Temple. Want to clown on a man like that? Grandma, what do you think? Are Nick and Ryan Nemeth a big enough team to actually pull a title in their first match together?
I think so. Yeah, especially Nick Nemeth. Like he's definitely had this journey in wrestling, and he's proving wrong that sometimes. I mean, it's true. Sometimes what you love doesn't love you back, but he's proving it wrong that it doesn't love him back. Like the fans have always been behind him. We all love him dearly, and I think this is definitely much deserved for him. And I don't think it's too early for him. Like if he was new to the world, maybe, but he's not. He's definitely not. So I think he's definitely deserving of it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you. Even if Ryan Nemeth is not big enough to be in that spot, Nick is big enough for the both of them. Like, look at what he's done since he's left WWE. He's pulled what 2-3 championships already. It's barely been 6 months. He's had main event matches in TNA and in New Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think he has enough clout to get them a tag team championship on his own. And I'm loving the fact that these two finally get to do this because obviously Nick has been around for a while, but his brother is not exactly green either. He's been in the industry for several minutes. And so the fact that this is the first time they're actually teaming together is just amazing. For sure.
Mm-hmm.
This is long time coming, but probably overdue, but it definitely gives me, a real reason. One of the many, but a real reason to tune into that pay-per-view on Friday, especially because I won't be here. I hate catching up on TNA shows, man. They're so much better live. After a while, everybody spoiled the shit, and then I gotta watch it. But speaking of Friday, so last week on SmackDown, we had AJ pull the Mark Henry and fake retire and drop Cody. And then this week, to say Cody was a bit miffed was an understatement. On top of that, we had, of course, L.A. Knight looking for Logan Paul, who was not there, which is why he should have dropped his U.S. title to Cody. But I digress. Would have made him a Grand Slam champion, but I digress.
That's neither here nor there, y'all.
and at least we got the match with him and Carmelo Hayes, which I thought was going to be pay-per-view. But we got that on a Friday night. So if you missed that, go back and watch because it was fucking incredible.
It was
absolutely amazing. Those are the two places I want to focus. I mean, we've seen the bloodline. They clearly Solo is in charge. We know Paul is going to either leave or get killed. Like you can see that coming from a mile away. But first, when it comes to Cody and AJ, is the story between these two a little weak? Because Cody's exactly the opposite of shook when it comes to this stuff. Like, he was not shook in the face of Roman in the bloodline. He was not shook returning at WrestleMania against a guy like Seth Rollins. But AJ swerves him, and all of a sudden, he's grasping his pearls and screaming for the manager. I don't really understand it, but I'm biased. So I want to turn it over to you guys. Do you think this story is falling flat, or is this something that you're intrigued in? Grandma, what you got?
I mean, I do find it strange that now they're doing this like shook if Cody, but I can kind of see why. It's like, you went into it. It's like, what, how do I explain this? It's like Genghis Khan said about the generations, the first generation has to fight to get it. The second generation has to fight to keep it. And the third doesn't have to fight at all. So like his first iteration, he had to fight to get it. Now that he has it, he has to fight to keep it. But it's like he's getting a little too comfortable. It's a little early for that comfort, though. That's the only thing I don't like. But I could see why they would do it. Like, oh, he's getting comfortable as champ. He's had these defenses. He's doing okay, riding high, and then being like, oh shit, like a real challenge kind of thing. Because let's be real, was Logan Paul ever a challenge? No. Just saying. Let's see. Sorry, lost my train of thought. Text messages from mom.
Come on.
I do find it mildly annoying that they're doing that, like shooketh, like, oh my god. But I could see why. It just feels early for it. That's all.
Okay. So I feel like you kind of agree with me. I want to see if Brother De Niro has any other thoughts on this, or if this is again unanimous.
No, it's definitely unanimous. I think that it's a little weird that you had The Rock beating the shit out of Cody Rhodes and blooding him up, and we didn't see that Cody Rhodes that we seen for AJ Styles is just swerve on him. So like, I don't know. I feel like they're trying to force a blood feud for Cody a little too soon. I think he's still in the early stages of his title reign where you could just feed him wrestlers and before like the big shows like SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So I think that this is just their way of giving an excuse for a rematch, but Cody was acting really strange on SmackDown, really strange, punching himself in the face and shit, like, and hyping him up and he starts punching his jaw. Like, dude, relax. AJ Styles finally comes and security's there and you just walk to the ring. Like, dude, you were waiting there for like 3 hours trying to fight the guy. You see him and all of a sudden you turn, make a bow face and walk to the ring to call him out. It was just very, very weird writing. But I mean, I think the matchup's going bang. I think it's going to be a great matchup. They had a phenomenal matchup, no pun intended, in France. But it just seems like they're, forcing a rematch when a rematch doesn't necessarily need to happen.
Yeah.
Not yet.
I mean, at least they upped the stakes and they made it a non-quit match, which is cool. But then at the same time, now you got AJ running back with Gallows and Anderson again. And I feel like we're just gonna rewrite the hashtag beat up John Cena moments with these three, and because people have already said Cody's being booked like John Cena, and I'm like, well, then thank you.
What was up with Michin too? She was all like, "Keep AJ's name out your mouth. Keep AJ's name out your mouth."
She turned into Will Smith, and fucking Nia was Chris Rock. What the hell, man? You keep AJ's name out your mouth.
Really?
I was baffled.
Don't get me wrong. When you go, and I love Grandma for this. When you go to the Lebesque barbecue, you will find something good. Like, oh my God, this just come off the grill. This is delicious. Like LA Knight and Carmelo Hayes. That was a beautiful fill-in for Logan Paul not being there, and then having that match was just on TV was insane. But then you get to stuff like this, and you're like, it's like one of those things that, maybe he started out with at the beginning of the barbecue and it's just been sitting in an aluminum like container on the side for like 3 hours. And you're like, oh man, I'm hungry. What you got? Oh, what the? No, you got anything hot off the grill, Trips? Like, I need something.
What is this burnt hot dog you're giving me, you bastard?
Did the meats get smoked yet? Is it time? Because I just had something delicious. You can't put this in my mouth after. Like, that's not cool. That's not cool. And I know it's the new era, and Triple H is probably learning as he goes, and things will improve. But it's just there are some weird things, and nobody's perfect. But when you can't book out a world title match, I don't care for what pay-per-view, and have a compelling story. This is the kind of thing that we have probably all heard somebody on this network that isn't me complain about Tony Khan doing time and time again.
Me. It's always me.
I was thinking the guy that always says you're bullshit, but yeah, you a little bit. So I could not see the way. And then there's this Logan Paul thing where it's like,
the again, Tetris Championships? What the fuck is that?
You're not at SmackDown because you're at a Tetris Championship. Then give up your United States Championship. Okay? I know maybe it's me. Maybe I'm old. I'm going to leave this to you guys. I'm not saying Cody should have won it, but should Logan Paul be U.S. champion right now if this is where he is in this current state, where it's like, oh, am I supposed to be at SmackDown? I'm at a Tetris thing. I'm everywhere my YouTube clicks are. I'm not here. De Niro, I'm gonna let you weigh in first this time. What do you got, homie?
I understand why they're doing it. You know, they want people to hate Logan Paul. So for him to come out and say that the Tetris Championships is more important than being on SmackDown, right? That is their way of getting the fans to truly hate Logan Paul. But it's whack. You know what I mean? Like we've seen the same thing with Roman Reigns, where we were supposed to boo him because he's not there all the time. But that's lame. That's lame that that's how you push your heels. You know, we're supposed to hate them because they don't show up. I'd rather someone show up. So yeah, I mean, I understand why they're doing it. I just think that, and I'm not the biggest Logan Paul fan, but I do think he has talent. And I think that he will never be able to take it to the next level until he's able to do this every single week in and week out. When he's on the road doing house shows, learning his craft in the ring. Because don't get me wrong, he's talented. He could do some nice flips, right? But his matches lack a lot. It lacks selling. It lacks psychology. It lacks a lot. So you don't really pick that up by training and then doing a match every fucking month. So I feel like if Logan Paul wants to take this serious, like he says he does, I remember, didn't he make the quote that now he's quitting boxing? He's a full-time wrestler.
Yeah.
And then why the fuck are you not there weekly? You know,
if you're a full-time wrestler, where the fuck are you?
Exactly. So like I said, I understand why they're doing it, but it's just, I don't know. I feel like that's the old way of thinking.
Yeah. Okay. At first, maybe I thought I was the old guy in the room, and the business has changed and all that. But now I'm feeling a little different, and I think she might feel the same way. But I'm gonna check anyway. So.
Oh, Wendy!
That'll never not make me laugh.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean, I miss the days when heels were always there antagonizing everybody and just being all around shitty people, and like gave you a reason to hate them, not just because, he's the overpaid part-timer. Blank. Fucking I miss the shitty heels being there and just poking the bear and needling everybody and being an absolute shithead. I don't know.
Like Drew McIntyre, what he's doing right now. That's amazing heel work. Constantly there, antagonizing all the fucking baby faces.
Exactly.
Like,
even while injured, he's there talking shit and getting into backstage segments.
Antagonizing them on social media, even. Like, just really going hard in the paint,
That's what you want out of your heels. And that's not what you're getting from Logan Paul. And that's one of these things.
Roman,
that's one of these things that's sitting in the corner at the Levesque barbecue that you grab thinking, oh shit, it's gonna be great. I mean, for starters, to have the biggest heel on your brand go home with a title is not new era.
No.
That is Snorman Part 2 or Brock Part 3. Take your pick. Take your pick.
It really is.
It's not new era. There's nothing new about it. We have seen this. That's
the tired potato salad at the Levesque barbecue that nobody wants.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And if you're saying, well, you got to be easier on him because regardless of wrestling, he's a celebrity, yada yada yada. Okay, here's the thing. And maybe this is just my opinion, but I'm gonna say it anyway because, well, it is kind of my show. Bad Bunny is just as good a professional wrestler, if not better, than Logan Paul. Yeah. And Bad Bunny has had nothing to do with a title.
Nope.
Wanted nothing to do with a title.
Like, he understood his position as a celebrity wrestler.
Exactly.
He understood the assignment.
Because he understands the business, having a passion for it, having grown up watching it and loving it his entire life. Whereas with Logan Paul, this was something that he kind of felt like he could do to get more clicks and feeds for his channel.
Yep.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking it. If I could, I'd go put somebody through a table at a pay-per-view too and put it up here on Circle of Debate. But what I would not do is take somebody's title.
Mm-hmm.
Because I am not going to be back with that title.
Mm-mm.
So you could talk about Logan Paul being, this, that, the third. There are people that say he's a tremendous talent and a tremendous wrestler. And I say, well, kind of. But if you don't have that understanding for the business, like a guy like Bad Bunny does, nothing else matters. Your report card is incomplete to go back to episode 350.
Not just understanding, but respect for the business as well.
100%. And
because these are all courses on the report card. If you didn't even bother to show up to the class, you didn't get a grade.
Exactly. And if your biggest, payoff for having Logan Paul is you get to have wrestlers appear on his podcast, that the majority of people that listen to his podcast are 12-year-old little girls, I don't think that's a good payoff. And then what, to have the Prime deal? Like,
it's 12-year-old boys who think they're edgelords. Like, that's all it is. Girls don't listen to Logan Paul. They probably watch his YouTube videos and are like, oh my god, he's so hot, but they don't listen.
It's the future douches of America tuning in.
Exactly.
It's just it's painful. I'm not even saying that he should have lost it at King Queen of the Ring. Although that would have been cool. Again, would make Cody a Grand Slam champion. We can't have the guy who's here week in and week out walking around with 2 titles. We got to have the guy who's never here leaving with 1. Because that's new. No, it ain't.
I could understand why they didn't give it to Cody, though, not to cut you off, but I do feel like just after the huge win at WrestleMania and then 2 months later you put another title on him while he is the champion, it could come off as doing too much with him at once and shoving him down our throats.
Oh, yeah.
Where I don't think that they want to do that with Cody right now.
Exactly.
I get that too, but at the same time.
But then why put Logan in that match then? That's
number 1. And number 2, the Mania or the Raw after Mania, Triple H walked out and said it was a new era, and here is the face of the new era, and introduced Cody Rhodes. So who better to be holding both titles on one brand than the guy you say is representing your era?
Very true.
At least, even if it's just the Keith Lee treatment, where like he wins the belt and comes on Friday and says, you know what, this is great. This puts me in another echelon of wrestler in WWE. There's only so many that could say they're a Grand Slam champion. Now I'm one of them. But I don't need both these belts. So I'm giving this one up. And then we have a tournament to determine who's going to be the new U.S. champion, like Keith Lee did with the North American title when he won the NXT.
I agree.
Amongst the real wrestlers.
Just what he needs to accomplish, because gets that notch on his belt, and then we move forward, and somebody who's going to be there every week will become U.S. champion. And then somebody, more importantly, somebody who looks at a guy like LA Knight and says, get off my level, mid-card, while holding a mid-card title on his shoulder, does not have that mid-card title. If you're holding a mid-card title and he's mid-card, Logan, I'll explain this real quick, and then we're going to move on. He's on your fucking level.
And while he was world champion in TNA and other companies, Logan's world champion at Pokemon cards, at fucking Tetris.
At the time when LA Knight was holding that title, Logan was probably the champion of puberty. The champion of figuring out lubrication is awesome. Like, get the fuck out of here, Logan Paul. You are not the heel that needs to be prominently displayed on television weekly. But you know who is? This man. And yeah, we're going for it again. I thought Brucey was going to be here. He's not. I'm doing it anyway. MJF had his first Dynamite appearance since the comeback. Oh my God, did he just call out everybody I wanted to see fight at once? I mean, I think first it was Okada, then it was Swerve, then it was Will Ospreay, and then of course, the back and forth with he and Roosh, where he literally just like gave Roosh like 19 rubs in one promo, like talked about all the things he did and all the respect he had and everything else, and then dissed him, which is fine. That's more than a compliment sandwich. He gave you like a compliment buffet with a turd at the end. That's totally fine. But I want to know first your thoughts on the return of Maxwell Jacob Friedman to Dynamite, and secondly, who would you like to see out of the guys that he called out, Okada, Swerve, and Will Ospreay? Who would you like to see MJF fight first? And let's do De Niro on this one. What do you got?
All right. So first with the comeback itself, I feel like just seeing him on Dynamite again, he is head and shoulders more interesting than anything going on Dynamite right now. Like, to have him back is such a big plus for AEW. He is so entertaining on the mic that he doesn't even have to wrestle ever again. As long as he talks on the mic every single week, I'm intrigued. I don't care. Right. I would love to see him in Okada first. I think that they would match up really, really well. Yeah, I mean, I would like to see him against all three, and I think that he does go against all three to eventually regain his spot at the title. One thing I think that was very funny was Roosh said in his promo that while MJF was sitting at home, he was here busting his ass. But the last time we seen Roosh was the Continental Classic in December. Last time we seen MJF was in December. So what the fuck are you talking
about, bullshit thing I've ever heard.
Okay, I thought it was just me.
I was like, what? Being like, I was always there. No, you weren't, deadbeat.
I've been here busting my ass.
Really? Actually, if you want to put things into perspective, Roosh hasn't been seen since the Continental Classic, and MJF was on that World's End pay-per-view, which was after the Classic. So the last time we seen Roosh, MJF was actually there.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Temple,
I like
please.
Roosh, but come on.
I love the new Jones, but you got to stop with this Eminem stuff in the chat. I cannot read that. I cannot.
Oh, God.
I love you, bro, and I love the song, but I cannot read that. We will get straight up canceled. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Slim Temple.
Right. I'm sorry, De Niro. So who would you, out of the three that I mentioned, who would you like to see MJF fight first?
Okada.
Okay. I did love the Rainmaker. Shouldn't you have a business degree or something? the promo was so good. But I'm gonna shut up because I know the people that watch this show want to hear the First Lady. They're not worried about me. Grandma, what did you think of MJ? Who do you think MJF should go after first? Okada, Ospreay, or Swerve? And what do you think of his Dynamite return?
This is hard because I'm a huge fan of Ospreay. So I want to say Ospreay, but I think it's just because I love the Billy Goat so much. Like, he's just, I just love the guy a lot, you know? Like, he's just fucking amazing in the ring, fantastic in interviews, fucking hysterical, incredible dude. He's like, you know, if my ADHD was a person, it'd be him and Morgan. Like, just you know, the meathead and the Billy Goat. They'd be my ADHD. But that being said, with Okada, it would be, oh, fuck, dude, that would be amazing. So I'm going to have to lean to, I'm going to have to go with Okada on that one. I'm going to have to agree with you on De Niro on that. Like, it would be incredible with Okada. Like, holy fucking shit.
Okay.
How do I feel about his return? It's honestly fucking amazing. It's one of the greatest things ever. Like, it's one of the best returns since, I can't think of anything at the moment. I'm a little blanked because I'm tired. But it is one of the most fantastic returns, at least in AEW. I'm super hyped to see what he does and where they take him with it. I don't want him and Swerve yet. That needs to be built up. But definitely start with Okada, work your way around from there, and it would be amazing. Okay.
I know Temple's saying MJF versus Adam Cole to finish the story that they were meant to finish. You know, that would be one thing. But you know, that thing, Temple, if you watch that segment, he mentioned a lot of people. He did not mention Adam Cole. He was like, I kicked him in the ding ding. I'm done with that motherfucker. Like that was pretty much what it felt like. He had literally brought up like three of the top dogs in AEW and never said anything about Adam Cole.
Which made me also think, not to cut you off, but which made me think that Adam Cole is nowhere near being cleared to wrestle again, which is kind of scary because if so, then I think we would have got, you know, more of an interaction with Cole and MJF. If you think about it, MJF was tormented by the devil and the devil's henchman for almost a month. And then it turns out to be Adam Cole, and they put him on the shelf, and then you come back and you kick him in the dick, and that's it. Like that just tells me that Cole can't take much punishment right now because he's not cleared.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's almost exactly what I was going to say. I was number one, it made me feel like Adam Cole's not on the radar because number two, it makes me feel like maybe Adam Cole's somehow not ready after not just this injury, but I mean countless injuries over the last several years between AEW and the end of his run in NXT, if you remember.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe it's just getting to be a little bit too much on Adam's body. I don't know. And I do agree that it makes sense for him to go after Okada first. But God, for the sheer moments alone, and because of we're going to talk about this next, because of some of the shit sheet reports or whatever you want to call them, the rumor in your windows, I would love to see Will Ospreay first. And the reason I say that is because it has been reported that Will Ospreay will be taking a sabbatical from AEW in the recent future. Some say after Forbidden Door, some say after this pay-per-view, but either way, multiple sources, not the best, but multiple sources have reported Will Ospreay is taking time off. So what I'm hoping is we get at least those two in a ring together. I don't care where it is, before Ospreay decides to take some time off. But the question becomes, because I think we've all heard of this, we've all seen the, after the whole debacle where Triple H said something and Ospreay decided to fire back live on Dynamite because he thought he was talking about him specifically, and now this. I'm going to ask you what a good chunk of the IWC has been asking. Well, me. Was Triple H right about Will Ospreay? Grandma.
Does it fucking matter? No, for real. Like, doesn't fucking. At the end of the day, it doesn't. Like, Ospreay doesn't give a shit. It doesn't affect Ospreay in the sense that he's working, isn't he? He's working the schedule that he wants to work, and he's been honest about hating having to fly over from England. He's been honest about hating having to do so much of this and so much of that. How, like, and knowing that the schedule for WWE would be far more rigorous than what he wants to do. I don't want to say wants to commit to, but he knows what he wants and he knows what he can give. So what the fuck does it matter? He's just doing what he wants and what he can. I don't blame him, and I don't give a shit, Say what you will. The man knows. He knows himself. He knows his truths, and he's living his best life now. So does it fucking matter?
Okay. I feel that. I agree. Who gives a fuck? And what's going on, Ed? How
What's
you
up,
been
man?
up there in the Pocono Mountains with your notorious Dom shirt and everything else? Thank you for tuning in again, homie. What do you think? Was Triple H right about Will Ospreay? And while you're thinking, De Niro, what you got?
See, initially I was thinking yes, right? Because he did. First of all, Triple H did not ever mention Will Ospreay by name, right? So we don't even know if Triple H was talking about Will Ospreay. There's a lot of the wrestlers who were free agents at the time when Will Ospreay was a free agent that did not go to the WWE. They all ended up in AEW. Okada, even a little bit before that, you had Jay White, then Will Ospreay, Mercedes. So I figured it could have been any of those. And the one good thing about AEW is you do get, a lot of time off. You're really wrestling maybe once or twice a week, where in the WWE it's about like 5 or 6 days. Will Ospreay, took that to heart when he went on. He was like, I am here for the grind, bro, and you're just grinding on the daughter, your whatever he said, right? Fuck all
grinding
that.
on the boss's daughter.
Yeah. I personally think that now I think that this was probably already agreed upon before signing, that, because of the rigorous traveling in between shows, me going to England, me going back to America, like back and forth. I do think that was probably agreed upon that it's probably going to be for a couple months at a time, like do 3 months on, take a month off, do 3 months on. And AEW has such a stacked roster anyway that I don't think it's really going to really affect them if Will Ospreay is not wrestling on the shows. They didn't say that Will Ospreay can't, do promos. He could cut promos from England and they could be showcased on Dynamite, so he could still be a part of the show. Yeah. And I don't really see this as such a big problem.
I don't either. I mean, you're right. He could cut those promos. He could pull the Pac and go to like Rev Pro or something local and defend the international title, and they could show that on Dynamite
That'd be
and
cool.
put it up on YouTube like they did with Pac and kind of get that buzz going.
Mhm.
And again, it's hard. It's hard for me to believe that Triple H is right when there's still all this garbage at the Levesque barbecue. And you're right. Who knows if he was talking about Will or not? I just know Will took offense to it and or whatever and came out and said what he said on national TV. So apparently he thought Triple H was talking about him. But either way, I don't think either way. I don't think he was right. Will Ospreay is one of the hardest working people in the wrestling industry. He puts everything behind every fucking match that he has. And he has probably had some of the best matches of the year so far. And so it's hard for me to say he doesn't want to put the work in because you see him put the work in every time he comes out.
And that's why I'm
Every
saying,
fucking
that's why
time.
I'm saying, what does it matter? Like, it's one of those situations where you know your work ethic, you know who you are, and you ain't got shit to prove. So who the fuck cares what other people's opinions are of you? Whether someone directly or indirectly fires shots at you like, oh, well, he couldn't handle the schedule, but I'm making my own fucking schedule, and I'm grinding in my own way, and now I'm doing my own shit. So who the fuck cares? Who the fuck cares about your opinion?
Oh, yeah,
And
absolutely.
he's making a lot more in AEW than he would have in WWE. Like
Yeah.
Tony
Oh,
Khan, for
facts.
those free agents that was free agents at the time that Will Ospreay was a free agent, was throwing the whole fucking wallet at them. So I'm sure that he's making a lot more than he was probably offered in WWE.
Absolutely.
And look,
And-
did he take it personal? Obviously, but you know what he should have applied? You don't pay my bills, you don't wipe my ass, you don't see how I live. Tony Khan's paying my bills, so that's the opinion that should matter.
Also, you're not my goddamn daddy. Yeah, I said it.
Just
But
saying.
you know what, Temple, I like what you're saying about MJF, being, the leader of Team AEW to save us from the elite. But you have Jack Perry winning that title, and all he did did he even qualify yet? I think he did. Or is that happening this weekend? I can't even remember. But we are not even near the finals of that tournament, and you're already penning in Jack Perry, man. It's not even pencil. You're just pen.
Sharpie marker.
The GOAT.
Putting it right in there into stone.
Oh, Chef. What's going on, homie? I'm glad to
up?
see that you made it through your birthday weekend. It's nice to know. That's nice
Hooray,
to know.
Brian.
Hopefully, if you're around, we'll be able to get you on for NXT Battleground tomorrow. That's going to be kind of interesting from UFC Apex or whatever. That's going to be a wild show. Jordan Grace, all that. I think we touched on it last week. I guess I'll ask De Niro what I asked Bruce and Wendy since he wasn't here. What are the chances that Jordan Grace beats Roxanne Perez at Battleground? And if so, does that immediately make you think like TKO just bought TNA?
I definitely think that that's a huge possibility. When it was announced that Jordan Grace was going to be in this matchup, I already thought that, hey, this means that Jordan Grace wins the title, takes it to TNA. Roxanne Perez has to go to TNA and face her probably at Slammiversary, and we get the rematch at Slammiversary. So I'm still sticking to that. I think that Jordan Grace does win for the shock value of it. I don't think you bring in a TNA signed competitor to NXT and get all this buzz, and you see how much buzz it got, right? I don't think they just end it with a one-off. I think that this is going to lead to something bigger, and I think that come Sunday night, there's going to be a lot of talk about what's next with this TNA WWE relationship now that a WWE champion is on TNA. When it comes to buying the company, I fear that that's the case. I think, and I said this on Circle Debate, I believe you were on the episode when I came back to the Circle Debate channel, and I said that when Scott D'Amore was fired, I believe the reason why he was fired, and they don't want to say, is because Scott D'Amore was blocking a selling of TNA to the WWE.
Oh, yeah.
So I feel like it's a foregone conclusion that you have Anthem trying to, butter TNA up for WWE, and WWE seeing if there is a market for TNA on their television by having TNA. Yeah, it's they're sampling it right now. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if WWE does buy it. Or on the other hand, I think that even if they don't buy TNA, I could see them, saying, hey, we want Jordan Grace, and trying to possibly buy the contract of Jordan Grace out from TNA.
Yeah. I know some of us saw the again, the reports, the shit sheets, call them what you will, that apparently TKO was interested in doing live TNA shows at Full Sail University.
That'd be fire.
And
I would be all for that.
Apparently, like, the interest kind of waned, so they went in a different direction and they brought Jordan Grace in instead to try and see how that would kind of get over in front of that crowd. And if you've watched like Grace's debut or her first match or the confrontations with Roxanne or whatever, I think it's pretty safe to say the crowd is into it. So if all of this is kind of the pieces being put together for some kind of TKO, TNA / WWE NXT merger where you get live TNA shows, it would also explain why they don't have any TV tapings set up for this month.
I didn't even think of that.
Because if you're going to go live, why the hell would you have to tape anything, right? It all, the writing is there on the wall, and I feel like Battleground will say a lot for the direction that this is all going in. Like, if Jordan Grace walks out of there as NXT champion, we may end up with live shows at Full Sail with TNA, thanks to TKO, Endeavor, whatever the fuck you want to call them. And I will be tuning in with the biggest fucking bag of popcorn I can find. Because I want to see what happens at that point. I want to see, like, who from NXT comes over. Are they going to bring main roster? Are they going to just do a TNA show? What the hell is going to happen? Like,
Joe Hendry, Temple, Joe Hendry.
Joe Hendry, live.
Every week.
Full Sail University, maybe he against anybody. I mean, he could obviously dominate Sean Spears. There's nothing he's really doing there. I mean, all these people talk about, like, Sean Spears going to NXT or Andrade going back to WWE. That's going to be huge for them. Yeah, I'm still waiting.
Andrade is the speed champion.
Andrade just won the speed championship on Twitter in front of dozens of people. That's an upgrade from AEW. Okay. If you say so, that's cool.
No, but I definitely think that if TNA is live, Full Sail every week, I think it would do wonders for the product, because right now it still feels like you could miss it. And it sucks because TNA has such a great product. But when you look at the grand scale of things and you look at your wrestling week, having Raw, having NXT, having SmackDown, having AEW, it's hard to fit in more wrestling, right? So TNA is usually, and I hate to say this because I grew up the biggest fucking TNA fan, TNA is usually on the chopping block. It's usually the show that I skip because, hey, I'm watching all this other shit, plus I'm watching shit for the podcast and all that. So I think that having them live would have a much more intrigue to the show and would be very beneficial for them.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I usually skip NXT. And this week, I skipped TNA to watch Jordan Grace on NXT. Wherever Thick Mama goes, that's where I'm going. Respectfully. Very respectfully, because she kicked the living shit out of me. But I digress. And I'm just going to say, hi, Pia. It's been ages, man. I love seeing you in the live chat. And he also said that, Will's only been in AEW for a short time, but he's had some great matches already. Yeah. Some of the greatest matches in AEW. Like,
I still think him and Danielson's match of the year so far. So
yeah.
And then probably a close second is him and Takeshita. So
Loser has their stupid tattoo lasered off. Forbidden Door, MJF versus Cody. Okay, I'm gonna pull Bruce for a minute since he's not here. Well, technically MJF already beat Cody. He told you that Wednesday.
Yeah.
Cody, and now I'm gonna be Cody and just say, "You're welcome, Max."
One last thing about the whole WWE and TNA thing is, it's what's up, Dalton?
Hey, man.
I think that it's so funny to think about the history of TNA and them working with WWE. I legit, because of the 20-year anniversary, I'm doing this thing for the Wrestling DeLorean where I go back and watch the first Impact. I'm going to watch the first Impact on Spike. And I already did all this on the show, but I want to revisit it again since it's 20 years. And then I'm going to probably go to the most watched Impact ever, which was the debut of Hulk Hogan. And when Hulk Hogan was on Impact and TNA goes to Monday nights and they want to compete with the WWE, and that was WWE's biggest competitor, and WWE never acknowledged them. Look where we are now, 2024, where they're in a working relationship with each other. And we see a TNA champion on a WWE, whether it's NXT or not, on a WWE pay-per-view. Like, I would have never thought we'd see this. I remember back in like 2005, 2006, in my little notebook, my mom actually found a notebook the other day too, and she showed me. But I would write out my dream TNA versus WWE matches, and it was always AJ versus John Cena. And yeah. So it's like, it's so crazy to think that in 2024, like, we're living in a time where TNA and WWE are cross-promoting. It's insane.
I'm sorry, we can have our DeLorean moments. If you remember at the beginning of TNA, they used to do those like pretend moments where like Triple H and Vince showed up, or like whatever, and especially when the James brothers were there, the James gang, because they would always like Kip and BG would always go and chase after the supposed Trips or Vince or China or whatever. There would be an altercation in the back between WWE and TNA and all that bullshit.
You remember Cookie Gate? The whole Cookie Gate?
Yes. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. This shit could actually happen now because we have Triple H and we have TNA. They could do this shit if it actually comes to fruition. So that's kind of cool. I enjoy that. And I agree. I will say I agree with Ed. Like, like TKO and WWE should buy TNA for the freaking library and the content alone.
It would be a shame though if they didn't run live events for TNA if it was just for the library.
I'm not saying they shouldn't run live. I'm saying for the back channel content alone, it's more than worth it. 100%. It's more than worth it. And if you're able to get a live show go with the talent they have there, whether it be like Alex Hammerstone or even Nick Nemeth or
Josh Alexander, Sami Callihan, the list goes, all the knockouts, the list goes on and on and on and on, and get them involved with like NXT talents too. Like, could you imagine like Moose and Obafemi squaring off? Oh, God, man.
Talk about two big meaty men slapping man meat. That's like that's meat match of the year right there. Mm-hmm. And speaking of match of the year, why don't we move on to the main event of tonight's show, the halfway point, the mid-season awards that we call the Middies.
Can we put a pin on the Middies real quick? Because Temple just brought something up that's like just came up on my thing, and I've been like mulling it over for like this whole time.
Wait, what you just bring
I saw news on Ricochet leaving to Dalton, swap deal Ricochet for Pentagon Jr. Okay, what I saw was that Ricochet's contract is up, and he is not thinking of re-signing.
I hear that's why they took the speed title off of him.
Yeah, like it just came up on my thing, and they're slowly gonna write him off. Yeah. Where do we want to see him? Real quick.
I think he would do amazing in AEW. I think AEW is made for someone like Ricochet.
Oh my God, right?
Yeah.
Do you think we're gonna get the old high flying Ricochet that we used to have, like everywhere else?
I was gonna say AEW
WWE definitely clipped that man's wings. I've said it from the moment he stepped foot into that ring. WWE clipped his wings because that man can fucking fly.
Even
I agree.
Have him come back to New Japan and have him fight Moxley at Forbidden Door, and that's his way into AEW, beating Moxley for the IWGP.
That would be incredible.
That'd be awesome. I mean, Ricochet is a guy who, when he was on the Indies and in New Japan,
the same. Okay.
Yep. When he was on the Indies in New Japan, like he really was. I know Conan would say this, and I agree. Like he was the second coming of Rey Mysterio Jr., where back in the day in the 90s when Rey was the best high flyer and no one could touch and no one could even fathom the shit that he was pulling off in the ring. That was Ricochet. Ricochet was the second coming of that. And then we've seen that in Lucha Underground with Prince Puma and how big he got. That's funny how Temple just said that.
As Puma, him and Pentagon, Mil Máscaras, they all had these amazing matches.
100%.
Yeah, MLW wouldn't be bad either, but I think New Japan or
New Japan or AEW definitely were
really. Oh, Ricochet versus Pac.
Dude.
Yes. Ricochet and Osprey back in the day was sick.
Oh my god, yeah.
It pissed Vader off, but it not piss me off. I'll tell you
No,
that.
it didn't piss me off at all.
Do you remember Will Ospreay versus Vader?
Yes.
That actually happened.
That was a thing that happened.
Yep.
All right, I sidetracked us. Let's bring it back around.
No. What top rope? What top rope isn't a top rope? What would top rope be if we didn't derail? What would
Exactly.
it would be
Let's
every other
just go
fucking
back on
podcast on
track.
the planet, which is something we are not.
Yes. We have fun over here.
So yeah, this is technically, because I've never named it before, even though we've done it before, the first ever Middy Awards. We've got several categories. I want your male, your female, and then your overall winner in each category. And I think we will start off with this will go. How about promo of the year?
Mm.
And since he made the first noise, I'm going to start with De Niro.
Promo of the year. Shit, that's a good one. Does it have to be from a wrestler himself, or can it be like a back and forth, like a moment of just them going back and forth?
Oh, it could be whatever. It could be back and forth. It could be one wrestler cutting a promo, whatever you want.
All right, so I got two, right? My two would be I think it was definitely not the go home show to WrestleMania, because I was at the go home show at Brooklyn. It was the week before in Chicago. The whole back and forth between CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, and Seth Rollins. That was fun. You didn't know where it was going to go. It just seemed like there was no script, and they were just all like shooting on each other. CM Punk was trying to get Drew McIntyre to say the words Vince McMahon, which was funny.
It was all from the hip. It felt like it was all from the hip.
Yeah, 100%. And then my second one, I don't know if you would count this as an actual show, but was the WrestleMania kickoff press conference in, I believe it was Las Vegas, when they announced the Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns match. And it was Cody, Seth Rollins, Roman, and The Rock, where The Rock slapped Cody. That whole altercation, the promo going back and forth was amazing. So if that counts as a promo,
mainstream media was like, "Holy shit!" about it.
Yeah,
like, it really brought a lot of.
Oh
attention.
yeah, no, that definitely.
I went to work the next day, and there was people like that I know wasn't watching wrestling and don't even watch wrestling on a week-to-week basis, and they're like, "Was The Rock really slapping somebody last night?" I was like, "Yeah, The Rock slapped somebody last night. He's an asshole." So I don't know if you could count that as a promo, because it's not on a weekly television show, but I'm going with
I'm
that.
not Mills Lane, but I'll allow it.
Cool.
and Peter says, "Oh, promo of the year, MJF recently."
It's up there. Which
one? Just all of it? All of it.
His pay-per-view one, the one from Double or Nothing, was amazing.
Yeah, that one was. Yeah, that's actually what I picked.
That was damn good. I don't want to steal your thunder though, Grandma. Please go.
No, that was my pick for it. He definitely, like, as soon as it started, and then he came out, it was like, okay, this is gonna be awesome. And then the moment he opened his mouth, like, I got re-hyped again, and I was like, shit, I gotta start rewatching AEW all over again, because I've been falling off a little bit. Like, I'm definitely excited. And it wasn't, his promo didn't just get me excited that he was back. It was exciting because it's like, where is it going to go? Where are they going to take him? What is he going to do in this return? And so it was layers of excitement, which is why I think it was one of the better ones.
Yeah, true. I mean, for me personally, there are two that, because there were so many good ones so far this year, but there are two that stand out for me because they had that like that burn moment to them. And the first one was the contract signing between Mercedes and Willow Nightingale, where Willow looked at Mercedes and said, the last time we fought each other, I walked out with your championship. You didn't walk out at all. I was like, oh!
I got goosebumps when she said that shit.
Yeah,
I love that shit. That shit was amazing. And then, of course, as some of you may know, one of my on the scroll of the nicknames I have been given since starting podcasting is, of course, the American Nightmare of podcasting. And you guys just heard me trash Logan Paul. I only did a fraction of the damage that Cody did on Friday night leading into King and Queen of the Ring. He eviscerated Logan Paul that night leading into that pay-per-view in the Middle East already. Flat out fucking told me, you will never be on my level because you will never put the work in, you will never take it seriously, you will never learn this business, and you will continue to run around being a boy in a man's body. And I went, fuck yeah. This is why I love you. One time. What?
He went hard in the paint in that one. He went hard in the paint.
Yeah.
Oh God, he went hard in the paint. He got called for 3 seconds. He didn't give a fuck. He was like, "Team me up, throw me out. I'm staying in, ref. I don't give a fuck." Yep. It was beautiful. So to me, like yes, Willow was top notch. And if Cody hadn't said that shit, I would have given it to her. But then there was that. So Cody just laying Logan Paul out mid-ring on top of his prime bottle with his words is my promo of the year.
I think runner-up for me is going to be Tony Storm and Wendy Richter. I'm going to fuck you up.
At the scrum, all pissed off because Wendy Richter won't fight her.
Tony Storm has done.
Oh,
God bless her.
Tony Storm is amazing at the scrum.
Wendy Richter, please. I'm begging you. I'm begging you. And by the way, if you didn't see the moment between like Mina and Mariah and Tony Storm, go back, watch it. You'll thank me later.
It's
respectfully. Just saying. Just saying. And on that note, we're going to move on to the next category. Best faction of 2024. And I'm going to start this time with, let's see, Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Joe.
Oh, Wendy!
What you got?
This is gonna sound crazy. I gotta give it to the patriarchy. Like the whole thing Christian Cage has done with the patriarchy has been absolutely brilliant because it's like it's not just your regular, guy leading dudes. It's this whole idea of like they are now my family, they are my children, they do my bidding. It borders on cult-like. And with Mother Wayne thrown in the mix, and I think I said this in the chat. I don't remember having said, but Mother Wayne reminds me so much of Miss Elizabeth. She doesn't have to say a single thing. Everything is here in the face. The way she looks, the expressions, her like gestures, absolute brilliance. All of this. It is honestly one of the greatest things ever. Like I'm just thinking about it. I'm like, fuck yeah, patriarchy.
I mean, that's fair.
A really good faction, yeah.
That's fair.
The birth of it, how it started off as him being antagonistic and just being like, fuck your daddies, I'm your daddy now. Like, what the fuck? Who the fuck does that shit?
Christian does that shit. That's who
Cage does that shit. And it's amazing how he's made it work.
Like every goddamn time Christian does that shit.
It's brilliant. It's fucking brilliant. Christian Cage, highly brilliant. People need to acknowledge his brilliance.
I agree.
Yeah, they really do. They really do. Okay. I like it, even with Kill Switch, even though I hate that fucking name. It's a great faction. It's a great faction. De Niro, who do you got for faction of the year?
This is like a real left turn over here because I like the patriarchy. I like a lot of the factions we got going now on like mainstream wrestling, right? But I feel like a lot of them lost a lot of steam. 2023, you had the Bloodline, you had Judgment Day, everybody was cooking, and then now you see like a lot of, factions like falling out of like prominence. A faction that didn't get talked about a lot was an MLW called The Calling, right? And I was watching MLW again on a weekly basis because of The Calling. Ricky Shane Page, Akira, and Raven. That was must-watch television for me. And now it's no longer active, right? They ended it in it was a War Chambers match like a few months ago. But I feel like I have to go with The Calling just for the fact that I stopped watching MLW for a little bit. And when I heard Raven returned and was working with Ricky Shane Page and a guy named Akira, I had to find out, why am I not watching MLW? I had to find out where is it being shown? How do I get BN Sports or whatever and start watching it again? Because I'm like the biggest fucking Raven fan. I'm sure Dom is going to say no, he is, but I'm like the biggest fucking Raven fan. We are.
Share it.
The fact that it wasn't just Raven as the manager, but Raven stepping back in the ring with the calling, I was like, this is must watch. And it was very entertaining to see Raven have a Raven's flock or a Raven's nest in 2024. So I'm gonna go with
yeah, who would have thought that shit was gonna happen now?
100%. So just for the fact that it made me start watching a whole promotion again, I have to go with them.
Wow, there's a lot of love for your pick. I mean, Ed loves the patriarchy, and apparently Temple loves it. At least Mother Wayne, because Lord knows, Mother Wayne, respectfully. And I totally agree with the Miss Elizabeth thing too. I think that's
I didn't even think about that, but now I can see it too.
And yeah, the calling back to the flock, exactly, exactly. What the chef say? Sorry, my eyes are like killing me.
Anyone could pull off the patriarchy heel, it's Christian. He's perfect for the role and the best guy in wrestling, or the best bad guy in wrestling. Yes, agreed.
I agree.
Agreed, chef.
Mother Wayne.
Damn. With the Ron Simmons. Damn.
Yes, chef.
Well, I don't have Ron Simmons, but I got this.
Close enough.
I mean, I think that's better. I'm just saying. Guys, I'm probably gonna get shit on for this, and it might be deserved, and I'm just gonna go with it because it's factual, and I'm still, and I went over this. I was like, Judgment Day, nah, they've been falling the fuck off. Bloodline, they're the Bloodline now. What the fuck is going on with them? Oh, they beat the Street Profits. What they freaking do?
I don't give a fuck until they bring in Jacob.
Yeah, me either.
Bring in Jacob, and I'll start watching again.
So far, the faction of the year, without a doubt, has been the Elite. Headed by Rod and Todd themselves. Just killing the business. Just killing it. Literally killing it.
I love that.
Yay, Jesus. Thank you, Lord, for this bountiful penis. Bountiful penis. That's Rod and Todd. That they have been the faction of the year. And I don't even think it's for the Bucks. It's basically for bringing in Okada and bringing back Jack Perry and finally getting him to the pillar status that they said he always was. I always argued that when people talked about the 4 pillars, I was like, what the fuck has Jack Perry done to be a pillar? Other than got a bunch of people go, whoa, that's a song. That's not Jack Perry. That's like saying Fandango was a pillar of WWE because it made everybody go, damn it. No. But the way that they have transformed the Elite and taken over the show and put themselves on another level and ran that company and laid everybody to waste so far, including Kenny, in one of the most cold-blooded segments I have seen since ECW went off air. I'm going to say that right now. Maybe De Niro agrees, maybe he doesn't. It was cold as fuck. For the Young Bucks to be like, oh, are you hurt? Get up. EVP trigger. I'm like, fuck you.
That was so like low JK bitches. I was like, damn, y'all. That
was some ECW type shit. That was not even Attitude Era. That was not cloned from ECW. That was pulled from ECW.
Yep. Like, damn, y'all.
The Elite have ran a rough shot over AEW since the beginning of the year with no end in sight. And maybe Temple's right. Maybe we will, after all this, end up with Jack Perry as TNT champion, and then every one of them have an AEW belt. Every single fucking one of them. They are the most dominant faction of 2024, like it or not. Because Lord knows, I can't stand. I call them Rod and Todd. I haven't called them Brendan Stimpy. We have called them Generation Me VPs. Lord knows we can't stand them. But that just means they're doing their fucking job.
They're doing their job a little too well.
But they're doing it. It's not like the Baron Corbin, I wish you'd get off my TV heel heat. It's the I literally fucking hate you for what you do when you're on television. That is the definition of a heel in wrestling, if you look it up.
And like you said, they've been doing it all year. I mean, it goes all the way back to Sting's last matchup and how how much the Bucks were hated for taking out Sting's sons and retiring Sting. So,
and it goes back to the heels being there to just needle the audience, fuck with everybody, do their jobs. That's how you do a heel.
Yeah. Let's see. What do we got? Faction of the year for me would be.
Faction of the year would be Shun Skywalker's Masquerade to Z-Brett's storyline in Dragon Gate. A chef's kiss. That shit made me cry, man.
Fair enough. Maybe I should be checking that
All
shit.
right.
Maybe we should be watching some Dragon Gate.
I haven't been able to watch Dragon Gate in a while. Like I said, these days with my time frames, it's like, do I watch NXT this week or TNA? NXT or TNA? Fuck, choose Jordan Grass TNA. No, NXT.
Last time I watched anything Dragon Gate related was Dragon Gate USA, and they've been defunct since like 2012. So
facts. Maybe we should check back in.
Yep.
Everybody's got their blind spot. Thanks to the MeVPs, the boss of AEW had a broken freaking neck.
Give it up to Tony for like the kayfabe at the fucking whatchamacallit NFL draft with the fucking neck brace.
The neck brace on during the draft. I had a picture of that. I think I put it up during
I died, fam. I was
because
keep it alive.
TK the chef and I actually went on covered the first round of the draft. And somebody sent me a photo of Tony in the neck brace in the war room, so I quickly like threw it up on the screen.
Greatest thing ever.
Like during the Jaguars pick, I threw it up in front of all of us. Just a big picture of Tony Khan in the neck brace in the war room.
He really held on to kayfabe there for that. I was like, thank you, Tony.
Yes, you have told me Jack Perry was the GOAT, Temple. I know.
Okada set on fire.
Okada cursing in English gets me every time. Shut up, bitch. No, I love when he starts with the Rainmaker pose, and before he gets to here, he just.
I like when they gave him the car and he starts fake crying. Is this for me? Oh my god!
Oh my god! Thank you. Always wanted one of these.
Okada's showing a lot of personality that we didn't get to see for years. So.
Yeah,
great.
No,
great.
It is very cool. And that's what I say. He can reinvent himself in the States without having to change who he is. That's what I was trying to tell Ivan for weeks and weeks and weeks leading up to Okada's debut. And here we are, and here he is doing it. See? I told you so, Ivan. You're bullshit.
I think we really have some fun with it here.
Yeah, you
All
have
right.
some more fun.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got faction, we've got promo. Let's go with breakout star of 2024. And I'll let De Niro kick this one off.
Damn. Breakout star 2024. Let's see. Like, do they necessarily have to be a rookie, or is it like anybody who's like, all right,
no, just anyone that just kind of jumped back on the scene and took off in 2024.
Shit, I'm gonna say Chad Gable. Like,
that's a good one.
Chad Gable put in a lot of work with his, feud with Gunther, the whole program leading into WrestleMania, to his heel work now. I feel like we weren't talking about Chad Gable in the same realm that we're talking about him now. So I gotta say he really did break out the last couple months.
What did you tell me, Don? I when you were talking about Okada before he came to AEW and said he wanted to reinvent himself, I told you he could reinvent himself without changing who he is because there are layers he could explore in the States. And this type of stuff that we were talking about where he curses in English and fake tears over the car and he goes for the Rainmaker pose and then it comes into this. This is all new layers to him that he hasn't been able to do until now. And so he didn't have to change everything. He just had to add layers that he could being on American TV nationally. And that's exactly what he's doing. But yeah, I do love the Gable pick. He is quickly getting on Kurt Angle level, and you can hear it every Monday with the "You Suck" chants.
Mm-hmm.
The "You Suck" chant. That during his music, you almost get Kurt Angle flashbacks. All you got to do is shave Gable's head, and that would be that. But I feel
like he's definitely getting the shine that is much overdue and deserved, because the man came in strong, and then they just kind of like didn't know what to do with him for way too long.
Yeah,
and they
Shorty G,
like Shorty G, which fucking. I hate even saying it. Like it fucking makes me angry. And now they're finally like, oh hey, you know what? Like we have a fucking gem. Like let's use this.
He admitted it. He admitted it. And he also said, Brother Nero, I knew you'd come. Did you? on here? Well, yeah, I told you beforehand. That's right. And of course, the mommy of our network.
What's up, Ivan?
All good, Ivan. All good, Poppy.
It's always great to see you, bro. It's always great. Gable is a great pick. Grandma, who's your choice so far for 2024 breakout star?
For me, I went green. I went with Hook. They're definitely doing a lot more with him, and they're taking the FTW title off of him is definitely allowing him to grow more as his own star and take one more step out of his father's shadow. And I appreciate that Taz hasn't involved himself in it like he could have potentially done. But also, I think this is definitely a better, a good way to start separating those two without going the Dominic Mysterio route of, oh, fuck you, Dad, just a different way, making his own path, making his own thing. And now that they have him partnered with Samoa Joe, I think that's definitely a great mentor to have because Joe is absolute brilliance. He's so fucking amazing, and I think that's definitely going to be good for him, especially because they're both such submission technicians. It's a great mentor to have, great person to pair him up with.
Badasses.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Badasses too.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I feel like Joe and Hook is the way they should have went in the first place, but now they're together, it's just like
Oh. It's a while to get there, but now that we're there, it's good. It's good.
Oh yeah, it's damn good. These are some amazing picks, by the way. But I mean, I think they all pale in comparison to mine because clearly the breakout star is Liv Morgan, right?
Hell to the no, no.
Did you really think that's where I was going?
I was about to give you a virtual hug. Thank you. Welcome to the dark side.
No. What?
Hell to the no.
No.
To the no.
Agreed.
No. I'll stop fucking around.
Well, this is my reaction.
Go fuck yourself.
Oh, so it's a clipboard.
Suck a big old bag of donkey dicks.
My shit stopped scrolling fast enough. Damn.
No, to me, there's two people that come to mind when I think breakout star of 2024. One of them, and she has quickly been rising the ranks at AEW and getting a lot more push in AEW, is Mariah May.
Oh yeah.
I mean, she went from the stalker Mickey James character, and that shit just evolved into its own story. And her in-ring matches have just been which you would expect from somebody from Stardom to begin with, but now getting Mina involved and all this stuff going on, she has been.
It's definitely what you expect from Tony Storm's daughter.
Yeah, she has been almost as much of a focal point in AEW in the AEW women's division as Timeless Tony Storm, and that says a lot. But if you want to talk about somebody coming from the back of a milk carton and breaking the fuck out in a big way in 2024, I think hands down it's Nick Nemeth. I know he's been in the business for 20 some years. I get it. But this man was doing absolutely fucking nothing. And as soon as he got his freedom, he became a champion. And then he won another title. Okay? And he has just been on fire and off to the races ever since he got free. This entire year has belonged to Nick Nemeth. Yeah. He is so good. He has been so hot. He made Alberto El Patron relevant in 2024.
Yeah, which honestly,
that ain't easy to do.
No.
And so, as much as I love, if you want to go with, Mariah might be kind of my rookie of the year because she's just gotten into the States, but Nick is my breakout star of 2024 because he literally went from an old episode of Top Rope Unsolved Mysteries. I know Wendy remembers we used to do that every week. he went from that, like, where the fuck is Dolph Ziggler, to holy shit, Nick Nemeth, another title like that.
A great pick.
Like I said, he is being proven wrong. He said, you know, what you love doesn't always love you back, but that is not true. He's always been loved, and this is definitely a proving of that, a proving him wrong.
Ivan, no, you haven't said his name, but I have.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
I'm telling you, Temple, you know I love you, and you know I love busting your balls, because I wake up every morning and say, thank you, God, for another day to choose violence.
Temple's going to be going from our most, watched fan to blocking us within the end of the stream.
He loves us. We love him. He's this network scumbag, and he knows it. And Brian agreed to have a Joe mentoring hook is like Zack Sabre Jr. and Minoru Suzuki back in the days of Suzuki Gun. That is a great
analogy.
That is a great fucking comparison.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
Don't make me pull a Will Smith and smack you. Okay, Will Smith smacked him on the face, not the ass. Yeah. I'm from Philly, I know. Speaking of Hook and Mariah May, Collision has been surprisingly good.
It has. I've been watching it. It actually has been pretty good.
I can't wait to go back and watch. You know, with my recent internet issues, I can't really watch and do this at the same time. So I can't wait to go back and watch.
It's been good.
Breakout star of yeah, Yoda. Yoda has been great, and Lyra too. And honestly, I'd probably give an honorable mention to Stephanie Vacher as well, the New Japan Strong Women's Champion. She has been everywhere, done everything, and making Gonzalo and Pipe proud to say they're Chilean. She is fantastic. But I gotta stick with Nick Nemeth. I gotta do it. Nobody has been hotter than that man. I'm sorry, ladies. I'm sorry, but it's true. It's damn true.
We tell no lies here.
All right. So we're getting to the big ones. We're getting to the nitty gritty now. Now we have, what do we have left? We did promo faction, tag team. Oh, how about match of the year 2024? I'm just going to put it out there first. I haven't gone first. I'm going to say it. Will Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson. That's my match of 2024.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Agreed.
Runner up, Will Ospreay versus Takeshita.
For me, I for the women, I have to say, I got to give it up to the women. Jade, Bianca, and Naomi versus Damage Control was actually surprisingly amazing, in my opinion. Like they definitely put on a fucking amazing show, and the pairing that came out of it between Bianca and Jade has been gold. The fact that those two have been able to come together, pairing her. Okay, first of all, putting Jade with Bianca, smart move. Second of all, not just because of the optics, but also because they both started at a similar level, because Bianca came in hella green like Jade did, and Bianca has grown exponentially, so she can help elevate her. And the fact that they work together like a well-oiled machine right off the bat is incredible. The match they had with Naomi against Damage Control, incredible in my book. Like it was women's wrestling at its finest. It was hella amazing.
Oh no, it was damn good.
It was a great matchup.
If I was gonna go women's match of the year, I might just say Toni Storm versus Serena Deeb. That shit was
that was a really good matchup.
Amazing. Like it had everything. But I'm gonna shut up now because I've already talked and Grandma said a little bit. We'll probably go back to her to wrap this up. But Brother De Niro, what do you have for match of the year 2024 so far?
Early in the show, I did say it was Danielson versus Ospreay, and a close second was Takeshita versus Ospreay. But now that I think about it, those two matches, they were absolutely amazing, right? Mm-hmm. I think my match of the year, though, just for the moment and the feeling and the story, 100% has to be Cody versus Roman. I feel like Cody finally finishing his story having like the WWE Endgame with, you know, John Cena and The Undertaker and like just that moment alone. You know, my wife doesn't watch wrestling on a weekly basis with me, but she was in tears when Cody won. Like that matchup brought out true emotion out of people, whether you're a wrestling fan or not. So I feel like that has to be match of the year in my opinion.
You weren't the only one, Ange, right here. I was bawling live.
Oh no, I was too.
Like, oh my god, fucking Cody did it!
Yep.
I ripped my shirt off. I had the Cody shirt underneath. I'm crying.
Everybody here at home, everybody was already asleep, so I had to like keep my sobbing to a minimum. Like
you're
just
like sobbing on the pillow. You're like,
but I was just so freaking happy. And my mom was watching. I didn't even realize she was watching, and she texted me. She was like, "Oh my god, it happened!" I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, see, when wrestling makes you feel like that, it's on a different level from saying, "Wow, these guys are putting on great moves," you know. And I honestly feel like I got into wrestling for the feeling of these storylines and the moments and the big moments like that. And I just think that you have to go with that moment, because what was a bigger moment than that? I still, you know, I've been getting shitted on, especially after I said it on this past week's Wrestling DeLorean with you on, Dom, and I will stand by it. I don't care what people think. WrestleMania's 40's main event with Cody and Roman Reigns, in my opinion, is the best WrestleMania main event of all time. What WrestleMania main event made you feel like that?
I know, honestly, if it's not, it's top 5 all time, easily. You will not catch shit for that here. Not on this show. Not with the American Nightmare of Podcasting. Not gonna happen.
Even the stars involved in the story got emotional at the end. Like Seth couldn't even stand up, but he's just there crying, and like just the joy in his face for Cody was
that is one of my moments, like wrestling moments, like all time number one, if not number one moment. Because not only did Cody win, but Cody won because the Undertaker showed up. These are my dudes, man. Like, oh my god.
100%.
Was like, holy shit, the Undertaker! Like,
the Undertaker took me by surprise, because you know there was all those rumors of Stone Cold. So I'm like, all right, the glass is going, Shad. The glass is going. So when I heard the dong, I was like,
and then the lights go out, and you're bong, and you're like, what? No, this is not. This is not. This can't be fucking happening, right? Like this is happening. Really? No.
Yeah.
Like Taker helping Cody. Oh my!
I'm surprised there wasn't cops that, you know, because I saw it with my mom and all of them. I'm surprised there wasn't cops for a noise complaint at the door, because we were going crazy in there. Crazy.
I'm amazed my son did not wake up, because I was losing my mind, and he is right here behind this wall with the Apollo and Rocky painting on it, and I'm amazed he didn't just jump up and go, "Daddy, shut the fuck up." Because he has told me that before. I know that shocks no one that watches me, but he has told me that before.
I am more often surprised that my neighbors don't think I'm crazier, and they still actually say hi to me, because of the amount of screaming that goes on here throughout the week while watching wrestling. And especially during pay-per-views, it's ridiculous.
I've seen my neighbors like at the gas station up the street the following morning, like after a pay-per-view, and they'll walk up to me and be like, "Hey, is everything okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, what?" "We heard, like, it was late at night, but we could hear a lot of screaming coming from your house. We thought something was wrong, but we didn't want to like pry or call the cops." I was like, "Oh, no. I was
just WrestleMania."
It was WrestleMania. It was Double or Nothing, and I was doing the watch along on my podcast with my people. So I was just, I was excited. They're like, "Oh, is that it? Okay. Well, next time I hear it, I won't call the cops." Good.
We don't want to
shout out to my neighbors. And shout out to the chef, because he said, Ospreay and Danielson, match of the year, bruv.
So here's the thing. As far as technical matches, yes, Ospreay Danielson. Storyline wise, Cody and Roman.
Cody Roman with that finish.
Absolutely.
Yes, Cody Roman at Mania for story and for moments, yes, but for flat out like wrestling, Ospreay Danielson. I mean, you can't go wrong with either one.
No, not at all.
So, Grandma, are you sticking with your picks?
Ospreay Danielson, the girls versus Damage Control, yes, and definitely agreeing on Cody.
Okay. Stephanie Vucker is my favorite wrestler of the year. Bold statement. Not really, man. I love Steph. That woman is amazing. I'm kind of hoping she whoops on Mercedes' ass at Forbidden Door, but that's just me.
I think
maybe
a bolder statement would be Nia Jax is a breakout star. That would be a bold statement.
That would be a "what are you on" statement, is what that would be.
Nia Jax is not a breakout star. She's just breaking stars.
I wish
It's
Nia
bold
Jax
and audacious to say it, though.
I wish she would break out stars, like break out the building, break out the company.
That's one of those. That's one of those. You know, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but your opinion is wrong. Types of
But if your opinion is Nia is a breakout star, my answer is again.
Hell to the no, to the no, no, no.
Hell to the no.
All right, so I have a question for you, Dom, right? Not to derail too much, but
No,
gun
you're
to the head, you had to pick one, Nia or Liv.
Ooh.
The gun's going off?
Ooh. Like get rid of one or keep one?
Keep one.
Sounds like, excuse me while I pull the gun myself here.
Yeah, just pull the trigger.
Get that motherfucker. I'll do it.
I'll do you the favor. I'll just pull it myself here.
Ow! I mean, if I had to, I would get rid of Nia. I would. I feel like yeah, Liv is mid, but Nia aspires to be mid, and yet they get all these fucking opportunities. But that's another story for another day. For another.
Liv isn't out here hurting anybody for real. So, well, I mean, actually,
Rhea.
Never mind.
Okay,
Hit her with
so
a
since
chair. He literally
we're
launched
bringing-
a chair at her.
Since we're bringing up names that have no business being in this category, let's get to this category. Wrestler of the Year for 2024 so far. I'm just gonna come out and say it, and it is not gonna be a shock to anyone ever. Yeah, that guy, Cody fucking Rhodes. Whoa! He has dominated since the very first month. Royal Rumble, January. Oh, I'm a back-to-back winner now. I get Roman. I'm going to beat him. Throw me AJ. I'll beat him too. Yeah, throw me Logan Paul. I'll make that douche look good and beat him too. Like he's just, and no matter where he can go, international crowds are literally singing his song at the top of their lungs.
Yeah.
Word for word. They don't do that something Cody Rhodes crap. No.
I will always love Mexico. I will always love Mexico because when they were down there and Mexico was like, whoa, everybody came out. All the memes, they were like, it's not that we don't love you, it's that we don't know what your song is saying.
Yeah, we don't know the word.
We only know. Whoa, we have no
That's
clue
it.
what your song is saying, but we fucking love you, Cody.
See, Mexico, that's how I feel when I watch Telemundo, because there's all these words and I don't get it. Then all of a sudden I hear like Pepsi Cola, and I'm like, I got that.
Pretty much, yeah, but like inverse, yeah, pretty much that was it.
You understand? But yeah, it's Cody. It's got to be Cody. On the female side, I'm gonna once again bow to timeless Toni Storm because she has been absolutely fucking mind-blowing this entire year. Like, this entire timeless thing has just been amazing from the start until now, and we're not even done with it yet. But overall, Cody.
The dedication to the gimmick of timeless has been amazing.
You know what it is? It's MJF level dedication to the character.
It's there, and I love every moment of it.
Yeah. Wait, what is it? Cody versus Roman. Everyone alive now may be gone by the time WWF gets a Mania main event like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that just backs to Nero's point, man. Like, it was a damn good main event.
Yeah,
it was
a once in a lifetime moment.
It really was. It really fucking was. Temple said Wrestler of the Year, Jack Perry. Yeah.
Oh, Jack, what?
That track. It's Temple. It's Temple.
Wrestler of the Year, Joe Hendry.
You know what? I gotta give it to you there. I gotta give it to you there, Ali Black. Athena is probably the best wrestler that nobody gets to see.
Yeah. It really is.
Her title run has been
Ring of Honor's Honor Club.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, and nobody gets to see, like, they won't even put that woman on Dynamite once, and she's had this title for at least a year. at least maybe a year and a half. Not one spot on Dynamite. Unfucking believable. But you're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
Tony's cakes alone are timeless. Respectfully. Okay. Well, enough screwing around. We got the people in, and I may not be the network champ, but I will always be the people's champ. De Niro, who do you have for Wrestler of the Year 2024 so far?
Oh man. All right, so we're going to agree on male Wrestler of the Year. I think it's Cody. Like you said, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, all that. But I think what really made it Cody, like by far, was the fact that in January, The Rock came back and had that face off with Jinder Mahal, and everybody was blowing The Rock and they loved his ass. And it was like, oh my God, The Rock is back. Oh my God, should he sit at the head of the table? Oh, what does this mean? And you get all excited. And then the moment that the fact that he took Cody's matchup away from him, that moment was like, no, fuck this guy. We want Cody. And
well, he tried.
Well, he tried, right? But for the millions and millions of fans to then turn around and say, no, fuck you, Rock, we want Cody, that just shows what type of story, no pun intended, Cody was writing here with, winning 2 Royal Rumbles, failing last year, but getting screwed out of it with Solo's interference, but now getting another shot at it, earning another shot by winning the Royal Rumble. That just is a testament to the type of year that Cody is having so far, that, the crowd was like, hey, we haven't seen The Rock wrestle in years. And yeah, a couple years ago, everybody wanted Rock versus Roman, but not anymore. We need Cody to finish the story. So that just shows that man is not only the wrestler of the year, but he could quite possibly be the wrestler of the fucking decade. I mean, shit, look at what he's done in the last 10 years. Created a whole alternative promotion, left that promotion, and then became the biggest star in the rival promotion. Like, that is unheard of.
I know. That's why he's kind of a big deal, folks.
Kind of a big deal, right?
I've been saying it for at least 4 years now. He's kind of a big fucking deal. You can bitch and moan all you want, but it doesn't change the fact.
Nope. And my female wrestler of the year is not for the fact that she is on NXT right now, right? But it's Jordynne Grace. Jordynne Grace been killing it in TNA from the moment she won the Knockouts champion against Trinity early in January, and then showed up at the Royal Rumble to a huge pop, showed out at the Royal Rumble, continues to put on great matches in TNA for that Knockouts champion. She had a great feud with Masha Slamovich. Now she's shown up on NXT again. Tell me what woman right now outside of the WWE has more buzz than Jordynne Grace?
Nobody. I think we take Thick Mama Pump for granted because she's just so good year after year after year. Yeah. But you're absolutely right. She has been phenomenal this year. Unbelievable. Like everything in TNA, the Rumble appearance, even her match on NXT was absolutely amazing. And now she's going to be in a title match tomorrow. She is a wonderful pick. And we got our stuff out the way, but we saved the best for last.
Can I circle back to Jordynne Grace real quick?
Yeah, go right ahead, Grandma.
I was thinking about her the other day, and I got overwhelmed with feelings because I've watched her in the Indies. I watched her in Nova Pro, and to watch her go from that to fucking NXT to fucking champion. Like, she's been all kinds of champions, like not just women's champion, but all kinds of fucking champions. She's had all these championship titles. She's on fucking NXT right now. She's getting so much fucking attention. It's like this absolute pride in Jordynne Grace, and anyone who saw her in the Indies and sees her now, like, we're allowed to be proud because that's our girl, man. Like, she's fucking doing it, man.
I know.
Oh yeah,
I know. It's amazing. Look at feelings, and that's. I don't blame you.
That's why I love professional wrestling. Look at the feelings. Look at the emotion that it brings out. That is beautiful.
That is pro wrestling right there. 100%. That is what it does to you.
Jordynne Grace, I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Oh my God.
And I second that. I honestly do. I'm having a tough time because I'm thinking about it and I'm getting choked up. That I see you, I'm getting choked up. I'm like, these damn allergies.
Because I'm a crybaby, so it's okay.
Who's cutting onions? Who's cutting onions?
I'm a fucking crybaby. I cry easy.
Nah, it's amazing. I love when wrestling could bring out that type of emotion and feelings out of people. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's one of the reasons I watched. Like, I happily admitted that I was bawling when Cody won the title. That's the joy of wrestling. It's not just, guys and girls rolling around in their underwear. Like, they make you feel something for them.
There's a lot to it.
And when they do that, they're doing their job.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's one of the reasons that we speak so highly of Jordynne Grace, because she definitely can bring that out of you. You just saw it.
For mine, I'll be honest. For male, it's gonna be a weird one. For me, it's R-Truth. He's had such a revival. He's had such a revival from the 24/7 champ to tag team champ with The Miz, and is he
being in the Judgment Day, sort of?
Yeah, is he still being goofy? Yeah, he's true to himself. He still does his adorable videos on TikTok and all the social medias, but the revival he's having in his wrestling career and to be doing it at the age he's at is absolutely inspiring and incredible. And I got to give it to R-Truth. He's doing some great and amazing stuff right now.
What's up? He really is. What's up? And you know what, Temple, to answer your question, I have no problem with Jack Perry whatsoever. And I love what Jack Perry did to CM Punk, by the way. And I'm glad he got fucking fired. I just don't call him the GOAT yet because he's barely done anything other than get set on fire with one match.
He's like, what is he? What are baby goats called? Kids. He's a kid. He's still a kid.
He's a Billy Goat.
He's working his way up to. I think aren't Billy Goats usually old? He's working his way.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
He's still a kid. He's working his way up to goat status.
I don't know. Something in my brain got like goats and Billy the Kid, Billy Goat, like mixed together. Don't mind me. He's still a
nerd ass shit. Knowing the difference though, like
he's a goatling is what he is. He's like a little goat.
Goatling.
He's a little goat. He's got a long way to go. But he's great. I love him. I love the fact that he got under Punk's skin and got him fired like that. Good. Fuck him. Fuck CM Punk. Do you hear me talking about any of his shit in 2024? No.
I love CM Punk.
You're alone in the room.
I'm alone in the room.
Oh, wow. Ed actually worked a show. He thinks it was Evolve and could tell what Jordan was on and could tell the show was going to be great.
Oh my God. At Nova Pro, it was like she was a star. She was a star in the indies and she would just go in there and have these amazing matches. And look at where she's at now, man.
Yep.
Oh, Dylan. Shout out to you in World Elite. World Elite. Good to see you, bro. If you got time, drop your Wrestler of the Year in the comments, please. And yeah, I mean, damn, I can't get over Jordynne Grace now. I can't. Working on the thumbnail for tomorrow's Battleground. Yes, as I mentioned earlier, we will be having a watch along for NXT Battleground. So if you are as into Jordynne Grace as Grandma or any of us, come join the live chat. Have fun. Justin will be here. We're going to get the chef and a few other people together. And we're going to do what we do. It's going to be a blast. Tune in, find out. Or subscribe if you haven't. Ring that bell. And that way when we go on, you'll be the first to know. Mm-hmm. All right, so that was it. That was the first official Middies that Top Rope has ever done. I think it was a huge success. I'm loving our picks. I'll probably go back and snatch all the picks together. Maybe do some polls on social media for the fans to get in on, have some fun with it. And now it's time to finish out the show the way we always love to. You know what time it is, boys and girls? It's game time. And this is a newer game that I introduced when Grandma and I came on together at High Class. Couldn't make it. Yes. I brought it back hoping that he would be here, and then he had to pull out last minute for family obligations. But we'll do it again. It's easy. The game's called Meme Moments. You see the meme in front of us. It could be any era of wrestling. We can just free flow, and you in the live chat can play along. Name a wrestler that couldn't wrestle. Grandma.
Eva Marie.
Oh, that's a good one.
I've been hanging
That's a
on
damn
to it
good
all week,
one.
and I'm like, oh. As
I
soon
feel
as
like
it happened, I was like, I know.
I feel like if I go survey says, bing, top 5.
No,
Don't
for
get me
sure.
wrong. I love Eva Marie for all the wrong reasons. And
You know
one
what?
of those is because she couldn't wrestle. It's
Right.
absolutely hysterical to me.
I love Eva Marie for all the reasons that I have to say respectfully after, but wrestling is definitely not one of them. You know what? As much as he's been going through lately, I don't want to say it. I feel it, and I feel for the guy, and I love him, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Mongo McMichael.
Oh my God.
Oh shit!
Yes.
No.
Mongo was so bad to this day. We're still getting Mongo Monday clips.
Oh yeah.
And he ain't wrestled in 2 decades, and we're still getting clips of him fucking up.
There was a long time period when I was going back and doing the Nitro watch-alongs for the DeLorean, and I had to skip Mongo matches because it's like it's not even fair to grade these. Like,
Dude, I rewatched them. Like I would rewatch the Mongo match because I loved how bad he was. Again, love them for all the wrong reasons.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Same here. And that's why I had him. And you know what, Temple? I agree. I know his New Japan stuff was amazing. I need to see it here.
His New Japan stuff was like 2
Okada
matches.
was great in New Japan, but then Okada came here and he's still fucking great. Which is something Jack Perry has not been in AEW yet. That's my problem. Other than that, I think he's wonderful. And we're gonna swing back to De Niro. Name a wrestler that couldn't wrestle.
Jack Perry. Now I'm fucking with you.
Man,
I
now
like-
you're
I like
really
Jack
getting on Temple.
Nah, I like Jack Perry. I do like Jack Perry. I want to see him, live to his full potential.
Same.
Somebody who I think, went really, really far in this business, but couldn't really wrestle is the Ultimate Warrior. I mean, go back
Yes.
and watch some of this like old school Warrior matches.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh,
yeah, it was just bad. Which leads me not to, I know we're at the end of the show. I don't want to derail again, but Dom, I have a question.
Please.
I have a
What?
question for you.
What's up?
So I read an article that in 1999, when ECW was on TNN, Paul Heyman tried to get Ultimate Warrior in ECW and was going to have Ultimate Warrior versus Taz. I'll send you the article. I did not know about this until I read this article like maybe 3 days ago.
It wasn't televised, but there was an ECW house show where Paul came to the ring in the trench and the full garb and did what was basically one of his shoot promos where he said to the entire bingo hall crowd, I wanted to let you guys know that I have been in touch with James Hellwig, aka the Ultimate Warrior, about coming in here and working some programs with some of our guys, especially Taz. And he had verbally agreed, and at the last minute turned around and signed with WCW. And the whole crowd started booing. And literally Paul's next line was almost MJF word for word. And as far as I'm concerned, James Hellwig can suck my fucking dick. Good luck in Bischoff hell. We don't need you.
Yeah,
So
but I mean, it's probably for the better
confirm,
though, right?
At least for being in the crowd, I can confirm through Paul that was the thing.
It just baffles me because if you think about that matchup, Taz versus Ultimate Warrior inside of the crowd would have fucking ate him alive. No,
Yeah,
Like-
and Warrior had, and I know this is like old news now, but Warrior had a bit of a fragile ego.
100%. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if he would have. I don't know. Maybe if they put it in another city, something, he would have survived. But if they would have brought him to Philly, he would have lost his shit and left mid-match.
that shit would have had to be in Connecticut for that shit to get somewhere.
Right?
Like,
It would have had to been in like Connecticut or on the West Coast or
Yeah.
something, but not Philly. Philly
Yeah.
would have chewed him up and spit him the fuck
I can't
out.
see him coming out full gimmick, doing the and fucking.
Philly
shaking the
would have
ropes
left
and
him.
shit.
Philly would have left him puking harder than Papa Shango did. Real talk. and the thing is about it, when I was a kid, the Ultimate Warrior was one of my favorite fucking wrestlers. And even watching him as a kid, who bought into all the kayfabe and the pomp and the circumstance, I was like, there's just something about him that's weird. Like, I don't think he really knows how to do this. Like, even as a very, very little psycho, I was like, I don't think this motherfucker knows what he's doing.
Why is he tripping? Why is he always tripping?
Right? Like it's just there was something about it, even as a kid, and as I got older and I started to understand more, and I got into then I really realized, like, man, this motherfucker didn't know what he was doing. But boy, could he pull off a gimmick though. And that music, man, when that music hit, oh, that shit is still my treadmill music, man. I could run to that shit forever.
But yeah, there was a lot of weird faces that showed up in ECW, and it worked. You know, I liked when Sid showed up in ECW. I thought it was cool when Scott Hall had his little cup of coffee in ECW.
Even Brian Pillman and Steve Austin.
I just never could see.
Cool,
I could never see Warrior.
No, me neither. Even when Paul said it, I was like, yeah, I couldn't even imagine. I couldn't even imagine him being there.
Yeah.
And then seeing him in WCW, I was kind of glad that he wasn't, but that motherfucker definitely couldn't wrestle. And no, Temple, we will not be doing worst of the year. Maybe we'll do that some other time. We wanted to keep this one positive. You know, we just wanted to highlight some of the best stuff, you know, halfway through the year. We usually do best and worst at the end of the year. We'll save it for that. Name a wrestler that can't wrestle. What is he? He works for TNA.
I believe in him, though.
Say his name, God damn it.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
We believe in Joe Hendry.
That was the most uncoordinated double clap.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
I had like a pen in my hand. I knocked my fucking mic over.
We were totally white girls. We were offbeat as fuck.
We really was that shit.
What is good? The Queen of Chaos in the live chat. Oh, just shouts to you always, and get your podcast. Get your podcast. Get your podcast. I'm gonna cut you a clip and send that to you just so you can use it on your show. Name a wrestler that couldn't wrestle. Disco Inferno.
Oh,
wow.
Yo, you know what shit was rough? Go back to his TNA shit. Gifted Glenn Gilberti. God,
that was that was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
You know who else couldn't wrestle? Heidenreich. Yeah. The motherfucker, he was $1 million body, 2-cent skills, man. You
remember Brackus?
Oh, yes, please. Ugh.
Just bring in a fucking, bodybuilder and put him in the ring without no training and try to give him a push.
I have in my notes? You know who I have in my notes?
Who?
Giant Gonzalez.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He was on my mind because I was watching that thing that Undertaker did where he was talking about, like, he had that match and he would tell him, like, if you're going to hit me, square between the shoulder blades. And then he kept fucking it up. And then what was it? Was it WrestleMania 10?
9.
At Caesar's Palace?
Yeah, 9.
And he finally had, thank you, 9. He finally had enough of his shit and was like, that's it, I'm done. And like clocked him for real. I was like, oh yeah that. Oh, Giant Gonzalez.
I got you, but yeah, Giant Gonzalez. That was definitely one of the guys. You know who else couldn't wrestle, but I love the living shit out of him anyway. Like total gimmick. The Sandman.
Oh yeah.
That man did not. I'm going to steal the old quote. That man did not know a wrist lock from a wrist watch.
Nope.
But god damn if he wasn't entertaining, and god damn if he didn't pour beer in my mouth when I was too young to drink. While I'm standing next to him smoking. I love the Sandman. But bro, you couldn't wrestle and you know it.
If not for ECW, Sandman would not be anywhere in wrestling. Yeah.
Absolute facts. You want to when Paul brought up, whenever Paul said we were the land of misfit toys, the first person to pop in my head was Sandman. He was like the glowing example of a misfit toy. No place else.
Sandman's one of those. Could he fight? Sure.
Could
he wrestle? Fuck no.
Yeah, and there was a lot of, not to cut you off, Dom, but there was a lot of those wrestlers in ECW where you would think that they couldn't wrestle because they were just doing all this hardcore shit. But then you would look at a Balls Mahoney versus Rob Van Dam match, and Balls Mahoney's pulling out some real wrestling.
Yeah.
You would go back and watch New Jack in Smoky Mountain and see New Jack doing fucking holds and all that and be like, wow, New Jack can wrestle.
Block takeovers.
Sandman was never that guy.
He was never that guy. Even Axel Rotten could go, man, but Sandman, no. And I will send you that clip, Jess. I got you. What What did Kayla say? Wrestler that couldn't wrestle. James Ellsworth.
Heck no, that man could not.
Him and his no chin music. Oh my god. and of course, yes, Ryback has to be on this
Yes,
list.
he's up there. He's up there.
Has to be on this list.
Mhm.
Oh,
The
James
most obvious
Ellsworth.
one.
Oh, he got lucky. He got in the ring with Ambrose and Styles. Yeah, pretty
You know
much.
who's the most obvious one though that we did not mention?
Who?
Goldberg.
Oh God, yes. Probably the most famous wrestler that can't wrestle of all
Bret Hart
time.
would agree with us 10,000%,
100%.
and then proceed to rant as to why he's such a shit ass person.
I don't know about Kevin Nash though, just like
Oh no, go watch Kevin Nash's Diesel, and even before that, even WCW.
Yeah.
Kevin Nash is just because you can't, do all these like holds and little guy shit, like doesn't mean you can't wrestle.
I was gonna say
That
for a
shit.
big man, because this
For Big
dude,
Man, he held his own. Yeah.
this dude
Yeah.
was the size of like a Giant Gonzalez.
One of the
He
best
was
big
the
men in wrestling.
size of a, but and granted, while he wasn't the Undertaker, nobody else really is. Like, there's one Undertaker. Okay,
Yeah.
so Nash, while he wasn't the most like I'll blow you away with my stunning wrestling technique, like he could wrestle. He's
You know what I was just
definitely
wondering about?
he's definitely better than like Mongo McMichael or Ryback.
No, I'm wondering about Hogan right now. Like, was he just Cena-esque in the sense that he had his set moves and he learned to do them well, thus
Grandma?
building the illusion that he was a wrestler?
Great
No.
minds, right? Because even Ed says, sorry to say this, but Hogan couldn't wrestle to save his life.
I
okay.
disagree. I disagree.
I will say this.
That's what
if
I'm
you've
asking. That's what I'm
seen-
asking. Like, was it that he had that set of moves and he did them well, so he was able to build an illusion, or was he actually a wrestler?
You know
He
what it
could
was?
wrestle.
I think Vince created the illusion because, and De Niro might have been getting to this. I'm sorry, because if you go back and you watch the matches that he had in like Japan,
yes.
he wrestled his ass off. He was pulling moves and locks and everything.
He pulled out
else.
a fucking head scissors.
He pulled
a
out
head
a fucking
scissors,
head
like,
scissor
oh,
takeover, like in the early '80s in Japan.
He's chain wrestling and shit with the Great
Yeah.
Muta. Like,
Yeah, with Muta.
So basically, what happened to Ricochet now is what happened to Hogan then.
well,
Yeah,
Hogan
this
had a press conference in
They
Japan.
just clipped his wings, but they made him like super popular because Hogan was buff and had the whole gimmick where Ricochet,
Hogan said he had a press conference in Japan where he was actually the WWF championship, right? Championship. He's the champion. He went to Japan and he said that when he comes to Japan, he loves being here because he can actually show what he could do. He could
Yeah.
wrestle, and he can't do this shit in the States because the States want to see more of the showman. They want to see more of the gimmick, more of the character.
Yeah.
Right here, he comes here and he can actually show what he's, capable of doing in the ring. He's a trained professional wrestler that can actually wrestle, which I feel like a lot of people don't realize how good Hogan is until they see some of his stuff in Japan against Inoki and against Muta, Chono. He had amazing matches with these guys.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, see, even just said, to be fair, Hogan in Japan
Hogan
could
in
definitely
Japan.
wrestle. Definitely.
But then the illusion was reversed because he could wrestle, but then in WWF at the time, it became set moves
But
that created an illusion of a limited wrestler.
yeah,
Well, I mean, yeah, if this gets you all the fans you need, then why am I doing wrist locks? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
if I could just rip
exactly.
my shirt and people going crazy, why am I going to bust my ass pulling out all these moves when he's going to get the
That
same
makes sense.
result?
easiest thing is like it is he was everything you said about Ricochet. Like, oh, you're great everywhere else. We're gonna clip your wings and leave you with this, that, and the third. Go for it.
Some may say Ricochet is the modern day Hulk Hogan. No, no one says that.
No one's gonna say that.
No,
No one's
I'm
gonna.
fucking around. I'm fucking around.
No one's gonna. Famous wrestler that currently can't wrestle. Trash by elegance. She can sure steal a gimmick though. That's for certain. That's for certain. But yeah, oh my god, I think we've either exhausted all of our picks for this particular category, or I've just exhausted my poor middle-aged psychotic brain. So with that being said, I want to thank everyone in the live chat first and foremost, and last but not least, I want to thank these two fine, fuck it, I'm gonna say it, gentlemen, for showing up to this to this lovely clusterfuck that is a podcast. I had a ball. I can't tell you how much I was looking forward to this all day. Even when Bruce backed out, it was like, no. And then De Niro said I could come, and I was like, yay! I'm excited again.
Yay!
I was very excited all day. When you asked me to come on, I was like, yes. And I was looking at the hours.
As soon as I asked you, I just sat here like fingers crossed, like please. And then you were like, I could do it. I was like,
yeah! It was actually a pleasant surprise. I was not expecting this.
Yeah,
right. I think I kept it a total secret from Wendy, but you know it all worked out well because in the end we got together, we had a few laughs, we had a few moments like this.
The Flanders scream.
And hopefully we entertained you, but yeah, it's about that time, folks. Again, thank you so much, but where the fuck did this clip go? I can never find, but yeah, it's time.
Autobots, transform and roll out.
So for the sake of shilling and hoping to make a few dollars, make sure to go grab your merch today at trwtmerch.threadless.com. You can get my ugly mug on the Notorious Dom shirt. You can get the only shirt with Bruce and Wendy's faces on it, the TRWT 3 up here by De Niro. You can get the Elite logo down here to Wendy's left. Or you can go grab the new Champ shirt. The Redemption Tour has gone golden, and you too can have your Redeemer shirt today at trwtmerch.threadless.com. You can also get Delorean merchandise as well as Circle of Debate on their website. All of these links will be in the description below, whether you are watching us now, the replay after the fact, or you're catching us on all of our glorious, wonderful audio podcast platforms. And you can also find all our links for all our social medias in the same description. But if you need a place to start and you don't feel like reading, search on your X's, your Facebooks, your TikTokies, your whatever the fucks for Circle of Debate, capital COD. You will find them, and in turn, you will find whether it will be Top Rope or Wrestling DeLorean, the Meatheads, Title Fight Podcast, watch-alongs, and more. We've got you covered right here with Circle of Debate. So thank you, everyone, again for showing up. Enjoy Battleground tomorrow. Come to the watch-along while you do it. Enjoy Raw. Come back for hopefully dogging with De Niro and Dom and friends with benefits on Monday. But most importantly, just enjoy wrestling. If it's not your cup of tea, let somebody else drink it.
Absolutely.
De Niro, you got anything you want to add in?
I'm always honored to come on to Top Rope. So thank you so much for asking me to come on today. This was the highlight of my day. Wendy, I always love working with you. Dom,
yeah,
same.
Definitely. Thank you for coming by.
No,
Thank
of course.
For surprising me. You made me happy.
Surprise!
I love it. Thank you.
So happy.
So I honestly, this was awesome. This was a great, episode, and I love you all. I will be here on Monday with my brother right here for Raw Dogging with De Niro and Dom and friends with benefits.
If Kathy shows up, yeah. And Grandma, please hit us with it one time.
Stay fresh, cheese bags.
Okay, bye on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Bye.
You and Spark, those Skinos. Hitting that, hitting her. Nikki from Casino.